Hello, everyone. My name is Kindra McHale. I'm the Development Director at YWCA Northeastern New York, and thank you so much for joining us today. This is our Series 1, Episode 14, and today we are interviewing Hannah Barr. Hi, Hannah. How are you today?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. You look so pretty today. You're just so fabulous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm just going to go over a couple notes and then we're just going to jump right in. All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you. So first, thank you all for our viewers that are watching today. Please know that the link, good afternoon, actually at this point, right? YWCA viewers, this is Series 1, Episode 14 of The Butterfly Effect, sponsored by Club 1888, which is a YWCA volunteer program. This is an empowerment series where volunteer hosts like myself get to interview inspiring women in our community. So again, today we have Hannah Barr. And a little bit about Hannah, and I'll read you her bio, is Hannah grew up in Duanesburg, where she was a Girl Scout for 10 years. On my honor, I shall, right? She's a branch operations specialist and an MT at the First National Bank of Scotia. Along with her daily duties, Hannah has been asked to head a bank-wide program conversion. I can't wait to learn about this, that she has been involved in for the past year. Hannah is attending Bellevue University to complete her BS in business and aspires to be recognized as an influential member of the 40 under 40. I love that. She is an active member in the American Poolplayers Association, participating in 4 Schenectady teams, 2 of which she is the captain of. And then Hannah currently resides in Schenectady, where she has made a home with her fiancé and her 5 cuddly pets. So hi, Hannah.
Hi.
So I just gave your little bio, but I want to know more about you. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So as I said, I grew up in Duanesburg. Born in Albany, I went to Duanesburg preschool to high school. So I was there day one. My family still lives there, so I visit there frequently. I was very active in Girl Scouts, as I had mentioned, big into community service. My mom was a great help with that. I remember particularly there was in second grade, we did a fundraiser, and we all had to bring something or do something to raise money. And my mom and I stayed up, all day, all night, and we baked these giant chocolate chip cookies, and we put them in these little bags and just sold them as like a bake sale item. And we ended up raising a few $100s, which was a big accomplishment, especially in second grade. You hear $100, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
Very active in sports as well outside of that, along with the pool playing as well. And then, I'm in Schenectady, and I've been here now for going on 5 years.
Wow, what a great background. I appreciate that. And I really want to know more about your skills with pool playing. So you got to elaborate. You got a team, you're a captain. Tell me more.
Yeah. So how I originally got into pool playing is the previous owner of the Horses Lounge in Schenectady. He gave me a pool stick one day. I was working as a bartender, and he asked me if I played pool, and I said, no, like I shoot for fun. And he ended up giving me a pool stick, and he was a big pool player. And from there, I would say the rest is history. I had a friend who was on the APA league. He asked me if I wanted to join. Me thinking 8 balls, your basic pool playing. I was like, sure, no problem. He get on the team. I get there. He's like, yeah, we play 9 ball. I didn't even know there was other forms of pool.
Okay.
So I ended up playing for his team for a bit. And then about 1.5 years in, I decided it's something I wanted to do on my own. So we broke off from that team, and I started my own. And then throughout the years, I've just joined teams, started teams. It's great fun. You meet more people in your community that you didn't know live right down the street from you. And it's a great opportunity to socialize and support local establishments as well.
Wow, it sounds like so much fun. I wish I could pick up that skill,
We are looking for new players, so anyone who wants to join.
Is there a very, very similar to golf, is there like a handicap?
There is. So depending on the frame you play, so 9 ball in particular, you can range from a skill level 1 to 9, and 9 being the highest. And then on 8 ball, we range from 2 to 7. So they're a little different, but we're open to new players, experienced players. It's just a great community feel, and you build a family with your team.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing more about that. So let's get really into the nuts and bolts of this interview and really about the women in your life that have inspired you.
Yeah.
So who inspired you the most when you were young?
So when I tried to think of one person, it was impossible. Growing up in a family with a lot of strong, independent women I was so fortunate and so lucky to have that. I've got a few aunts who started their own businesses. My mom in particular, she started her own business. So just growing up around women who didn't take no for an answer. They went out, they found their passion, they started their business and they thrive. Or, maybe it's not some super successful business, but it's their own. And they just make it their own. They have fun with it, they profit from it, and they help whatever industry that they're in.
That's wonderful. Man, it's like you were raised by a tribe of very strong women.
Yes.
That's awesome. So I know that you, I don't want to give out ages or anything like that, but I do know that you are aspiring to do so much in your career. And already it sounds like, First Scotia Bank is really lucky to have you and giving you this new project. So, and I know we have mentors all our life. So do you currently have a mentor, or who has mentored you in the past?
So from the past, I would say I had a teacher in particular. His name was Mr. Rivenberg, and he was someone he was a technology and woodshop teacher. Normally when you think of those classes, it's not a female-dominated class at all, but I wanted to make it female-dominated.
Yeah.
So going into that, he really took me under his wing, I want to say, and led me through, whether it be on the technology side of producing our morning news show. We had our little green room, we had our TV cameras, all of that set up, and would broadcast every morning, no more than 10 minutes. But really learning that technology side of things, and then to video producing, editing, little commercials or movies that we made ourselves. And then along the side with the woodshop portion, not a lot of women in that class. Now, there were a handful, but that's something that you do think as a men-dominated area. So going in, and whether it's creating a birdhouse or building a lamp or, just being creative, he really pushed me and strived to see me succeed in that. And he was there from 9th grade to my senior year. He was right there helping me and just really encouraging. And then when it comes to today, especially with the bank, well, first I'd like to say I'm lucky to have the bank. I mean, they have helped me in so many avenues that I didn't think I could go down or didn't want to go down, and then just opened up those experiences. It's been so wonderful. But as far as mentors now, I have so many people I can turn to, whether it's I email them or can give them a quick phone call, and just the voice on the other end, you're so happy to know that they're not annoyed when they hear you. They know you might have questions that might be super easy or super difficult, and they will open doors for you and help you find those answers and really guide you to where you want to be.
That's great. Can you tell us a little about which branch you currently are working at? Are you working at a branch right now?
Currently, I'm not working at a branch. I'm actually working at doing some trainings and helping out Scott Hub. It's an insurance agency we work with. Prior to that, I was at our Rotterdam location and a few other places. I actually started our Niskayuna location, worked at the Scotia branch. I've dabbled in a few branches, but currently I'm not in the branch right now.
Okay. Well, I want to give a shout out to you and the team at the Rotterdam location. You guys raised a significant amount of money for our organization by selling, we did snowflakes, right?
Yes.
And your team at the time, they were so fabulous. They really jumped in and they had no problems helping out our organization and bringing in that unexpected dollar amount. Like, thank you.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have a team that jumped on that, because when you raise money for organizations, you really need to have a team that believes in the organization, because if they don't, they're not gonna ask that simple, hey, do you want to donate $1, $2, or what it may be. And we had some girls there that just really pushed for it. They were open to choosing the YWCA, because we did have a meeting, and I brought it to the table. It's like, I want your ideas. Tell me what you want to do. And we unanimously decide on YWCA, and it was a great experience. And I also think it brought more of the organization out to the public that some people might not have known about the YWCA. So it was great. And I was so thankful that they really jumped on board, and they did great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. So let's talk about this new role that you're taking on with the bank. And I'm sure there's some confidentiality and we can't touch on that, and I can appreciate that. But tell us a little bit about this conversion and why you've been pulled from the branch.
Sure. Excuse me. So the conversion, I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry.
It was all that singing at St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
Yeah. As in any business or any, place you work, you have some sort of software or some program that you use that really houses all your information. So with the bank, we are switching over to a new program is what it is. And it's a bank-wide situation. I mean, everyone uses this. So it's from collecting data, collecting surveys, doing tests, running, and we're right in the beginning of it. So it's very exciting. It's something I've never done before. And so that's really one reason I'm stepping back from the branch. It's a commitment. It's something that you need to be able to jump on, answer questions, get on the phone, be emailing. So it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. You never know how something's going to turn out. You want to make sure it's a smooth transition for your customers, number one, and really getting every person in the bank to know what to do with this new program. You've got people who have been here using the same program, myself in particular, since I got here. So it's all new. It's going to be fun. It's going to be stressful, but it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. I'm sure that having someone like yourself in the lead or taking charge in this project, things are going to go really well.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So let's talk a little bit about your identity as a woman in the banking field. And so how does your identity as a woman play a role in your industry?
Sure. So, you think of banking, you think of finance, right? And let's go back to early 1900s, right? Men were in control of finances. Men were in control of the household in general. So I think in the finance industry, you are seeing a lot of more women step in and take control, which is great, but it is a male dominated field. And I like to see now that I feel it's going more to that 50-50 split, particularly in the bank that I work at. I have a lot of women that I can look up to who have been here for 20 plus years, who've worked their way up and are really taking that leading, charging role. But yeah, it's a male dominated field. You got to step in, you got to be confident, and really just put yourself out there. I had very little banking experience before coming here. And when I came to the bank, I started as a teller, as most people do, and you really learn from the ground up. I never thought I'd be in the banking. I didn't see myself, staying after being a teller, to be honest. But once you're here and you see these women and men as well, but you see these women like glowing and just striving here, it makes you want to learn more. It makes you want to move up and learn new facets of the industry. So being a woman is not easy. It's difficult in most fields as well, but especially in finance, you're dealing with money. Let's be honest, some people might not want to talk to me about, their money, right? So you really need to put yourself out there and show them that, you're here for a reason.
Right. Well, congratulations. It really sounds like you found your niche with the bank. And, and we know a lot of, we kind of have a similar circle of peers, and they have some really lovely things to say about you too. So it's very awesome that you're getting right up there.
Yes.
So based on what you know now, you've shared some of your past history experiences and who have mentored you and helped you along the way. But so based on what you know now, what advice would you give yourself as a teenager?
So I thought about this one, and I've got 3 main points really that I want to put out there. Is number one, don't quit. It could be hard. You could be struggling. You might doubt yourself. Do not quit. Know your self-worth. That really ties in with that. Like I said, things might be difficult, but you know where you came from. You know where you want to go. Really know your self-worth. And number 3 is something I struggle with daily. Be patient.
Yes.
Little to no patience. I'm working on it. I'm growing with that. But be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. You might want to learn something new. And me personally, I want to know it yesterday. But you need to take your time and really understand what you're learning. Because if you just jump right ahead and be like, no, I've got it. I don't need your help. I don't need your advice. You're going to miss out on some great opportunities and some great advice. So just that patience is number 1.
That surprises me a little bit, Hannah, because if you've got 5 cuddly pets that you're working with, you're with every day, I'm sure that they poke at you a little. No?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think they probably helped me with the patience part of things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can you tell us how many what kind of pets you have?
Yeah, so I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. One thing with the patients is one of my dogs is blind, recently blind, wasn't born that way. So that was a learning curve, especially if you don't know that they're losing their sight. I'm like, why aren't you walking downstairs? Why aren't you going outside? But yeah, it's growing with them. And then I've got, one of my cats is 17. That's patience in itself. You got to be easier with them, the arthritis and the movements and taking. But yeah, but they're lovely and I love them.
Yeah, it sounds lovely. Oh, I love it. I'm an animal person too, so I gotcha. So what would you want other women to know? If you could share something or wisdom or a piece of like a nugget sharing, what would you want
Yeah.
them to know?
Yeah. I think this kind of ties in with the previous question as well, but you're stronger than you think.
Mm-hmm.
You really are. Like I said, there's gonna be difficult paths. You're gonna run into something that you think is just gonna tear you down. And it might, and that's okay. But you really are stronger than you think. I want to say between the age of 18 and 20, I had 2 years right out of high school where it was horrible. I didn't think I was gonna make it, to be honest. But
look at you now. Look at you now.
yeah,
Look at
you're stronger than you think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's see. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay. What is one interview question you have never been asked? And then what would your answer be to it?
So this one, I kind of struggled with this question at first. I was like, I feel like I've been asked everything you could be asked in an interview. But I thought about it. And what I would love someone to ask me, let's just say, if you have $40,000 today and you could start your own business, what would you do? And the reason I love this question so much is because it's really going to tell you what that person's passionate about. Because they're not going to say 40,000 bucks out, I don't know what I would do with it. You have something in you that's like, this is what I would love to do. And even if it's not in the field that you're interviewing for. So if I got asked this question, if I have $40,000 and want to start my own business, I would love to start a video editing studio. Take in like movies, or I'd really love to do movies, but that's a big commitment from the first. But commercials, start with something small. Go in and like edit those, the special effects, like everything about that is just so fascinating to me. It's something that goes back to in high school that I loved doing, and to me, it's not work. It's so fun. And what people say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That would be so ideal. But I love that question because it really brings out that passion that someone has.
Right. Well, I can tell you right now that it is very difficult to find a really good editor, and we have some really good relationships in the community with some companies, but that's a really popular field right now to get into with everything being virtual. Maybe you need a little side gig.
Yeah.
Carrie's watching. My PR marketing and PR manager is watching, Carrie, and I know I can already come up with some ideas for you.
Well, got my information. So.
That's right. We'll be in touch. So what is unique to you, a special talent or something that excites you? And you can't do the video editing, so it's got to be something else.
So I wouldn't say it's so much unique to me, but I'm very competitive. And that is, I think, why I thrive in those sports and pool. I used to be on a dart league, volleyball, softball. I'm a very competitive person. And then coming from high school, especially with that, bringing it into my everyday life at work, I'm very competitive. So I try to reel it in and be patient. Yeah. But if we have like a little promotion at work or a little competition between some of the branches, I want to be number one. I'm sure everyone wants to be number one, but I want to be number one. So that competitiveness, it just drives me. And the reason that I'm still here and I'm going forward, it's in that 40 under 40, that's going to help me. Is that
yes. So let's talk about that. So they just released their 40 under 40 for 2021. Yeah. But so I know we can get in nominations. So how can we help you achieve that goal?
So when I think of the 40 under 40, I do have a few years, left in me until I really have to hit that goal. So for me, what I need to do is I need to find my actual niche in the bank. I need to see where I want to go, what I want to do long term, because right now there's so many amazing things that you can do within the organization that I can't be 5 people in 5 places. So finding that, building the relationship with the bank, building my community outreach as well. You have to have a well-rounded profile. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm great at what I do. That's awesome. But what else do you do outside of that? So networking, community organizations, volunteering, and a lot of things. I try to be humble about the volunteering that I do. I really don't advertise it that much. I think that's a good thing, because when people might see you out doing something and then they see you at another organization, like, all right, they're catching on. They see you out there. So it's really that word of mouth, going out there, helping your community, building those relationships. I think all of that is what's going to help me get there. And how someone else could help me get there is come out with me. Come out and volunteer. Let's go do something together, because then I'm going to get you involved. Word of mouth, bring on more people. And you've got your own little community behind you that can help you get nominated and help be that support behind you with that.
Well, we would be happy to help you in any way that we can. So yes, let's map it out. And then I'm gonna leave it. Well, this will be my last question, and then I want to dive in just before I let you go about your recent engagement. So let's first let me get this one out here. So what is the best advice you have ever received?
It's simple. It's one word. It's delegate. I am someone who takes way too much on at times. And I know that because I want to do everything, that competitiveness, that number one, right? Mm-hmm. So, I've had people tell me, you need to delegate. You have a team behind you. You build these relationships with these people you work with, or that you're, it doesn't even have to be just in work, but let's use work as the example. You have this team that you work with every day. They're like your second family. You trust them. Guide them, and then delegate. You have so much going on. Well, Joe from whatever can do this. Jill can do this. This team is someone that you work with. Use them. Don't overstress yourself out when you have a team that you can trust help bring you there.
I love it. I need to do that more often. I'm going to follow your lead.
It's easier said than done, but
it's like, I know I can get it done myself, but you're right. Absolutely. So, okay. So let's talk about this engagement. When did it happen? And do you have a date set yet?
So it happened January 29th, this past couple months. Yes, we do have a date, September 16th, 2022. I've kind of been told I'm moving a little fast with some things. We've already actually booked our venue. I've already gotten my dress. I've already done some things.
Wow.
That, you usually take more time in doing, but Ryan is someone that has gone above and beyond for me. He's been there through me when I was working on 100% commission at one point. Like, wow. He was there. He was supportive. He's my everything. He is. Oh my so goodness. Yeah. So when I'm rushing ahead and doing all this, it's because I know he's just amazing.
Oh, well, I'm very happy for you. And I hope that once 2022 comes, everything will be back to normal. You've got the dance floor. You can have as many people as you'd like.
We're hoping.
Yeah. Well, either way, you two are still in love, and that's really what matters.
Yes.
So I'll leave it on this, Hannah. Anything else that you would like to share before I send you on your way today?
It was great being here. I will say that the YWCA is such a wonderful organization that anyone who, like I said, wants to volunteer or anything, they should definitely reach out to you guys. And like we did, we just sold snowflakes at our branch, something as simple as that, where it's just in your everyday daily life. So I want to leave it at that. You guys are awesome.
Oh, well, thank you, Hannah. It was a pleasure. It's always nice to see you. And we are going to be doing a series 2 because of how popular it is. So I'd love to bring you back on the other side here and interview some up and coming women. What do you think?
Of course. I'm always open to that.
Awesome. I'm going to hold you to it.
All right.
All right. Well, Hannah, thank you again for your amazing support in our community. Thank you for all that you do for your bank and your customers. And congratulations on your recent engagement. And I'm looking forward to seeing your name out there at the 40 Under 40 in these upcoming years. So
Of course. Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye.